Hello everybody and welcome to a playthrough here for Master Division for the Attitude 18 Hole Cup. In this video we'll see me play with variable wins, so this is not the wind that you will have in the tournament. Also, it's not the same strength either, because here you have boosted wins when it comes to this particular tournament, and it's important to have that in mind when you are playing, as it will not reflect what you are used to use. Make note that if you do enjoy the video, hit the thumbs up button, also subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications. And for those that do want to support our channel and our work even more, scan the QR code here on the screen or go directly to patreon.com/golfclashtommy or patreon.com/GCT Quick9 for the best premium guides on the market. On hole number 1, option 1, which is our win 10 ball play, we are starting at P6 max stretch, bullseye just into the rough line, max top spin to a right spin, and that is for a POC 7 and a POC 8. Apocalypse level 6 needs to use 1 top spin boost. We do not recommend to use Apocalypse level 5 here. You can also use Extra Mile level 9 as well. However, if you're using Extra Mile level 9, you need to make sure to adjust with your Apocalypse before you're then swapping to the Extra Mile. Circle drop overpower. We are landing on the fairway, and then have dead bounces to around 410 yards. On the second shot, we are going to go for a bunker check, where the bullseye is just over the bunker with the ball guideline going over the left side of the fringe. Max top spin and 2 left spin. Tip of the ball guideline to go roughly 1.5 green square through the hole. Now, the reason is 1.5 is because it stands not by the line of a green square. It is very important that you're mirroring the ball guideline. That is very crucial. What we are seeing here now is a wind angle that is into the red angle. So we are just into the red angle, I would say, towards the yellow. And if I am in that situation, I will always favor going less on the power rather than more. In this particular, in the red angle, we'll do circle break on the power minus 2 clicks of on the power, meaning that we are adding more power, going more towards the center. We clip the rough with great save on both sides. Ball comes in and dropping dead center for the eagle. Adjustment is custom based adjustment. We are adjusting here in the video 5.6 rings for 7.8 miles per hour. Scan the QR code on the screen or go directly to patreon.com/golfclashtommy for the ultimate tournament text guides for the new season, expert and master division. Also check out our Quick 9 premium guides as patreon.com/GCTQuick9. On hole number 2, we are starting with a beginner driver and a backspin boost 2 ball. If we do have any, we're gonna do 0.8 bars of right spin together with 1 backspin. Now, you don't have to start with that combination if you don't want to, but I see the value in adding spins with the beginner driver and the backspin boost 2 ball to be consistent with the backspin, which will then allow the 0.8 right spin to be a bit easier to set. This is the yellow angle, which is 2 clicks of right curl. You can see that we are at P7 min line with the bullseye just left of where it's being clipped by the rough. Adjust is 1 to 1 minus 1.7. And then we hit fairway into the rough, we roll up the green, and we're dropping dead center for the hole-in-one. Scan the QR code here on the screen to go to patreon.com/golfclashtommy. You do have the link in the description down below. There you can sign up for the season guides here for Tour, Tournament, and Checkpoint Challenge. On hole number 3, option 1, here we are pushing hard to get ourselves into Albatross range. I decide to go with what we have done in the past with a topspin boost ball. We intend to try to slow the needle down a little bit, but also create ourselves a fairly consistent drive to around 480 yard mark, because that's the troubling part with this par 5, is that to be able to fluke in an albatross, we need to have somewhat a consistent drive to work with. If we are around 10-15 yard difference every time we make our drive, then that will be very problematic. A perfect ball should be around 482 yards, which is perfect. Great balls can absolutely glitch roll if you're unlucky. That's why we do have the info box as well, to give you some extra information, so you at least can hunt for it and then try to go for the pin as well. On the second shot, we are going for the albatross, but we do need a lot of luck to get it. We are setting 4.5 backspin, 1 left spin to a start. We're then moving to find the second bounce to go completely down into the sand with the ring reference as per the table by the rough line. So cat 8 has a white ring by the rough line. We are then going to go 3.9 backspin, 1 click less than 4, and 1 left spin as our respin. And then we are going to adjust, which is going to be a 90% slider plus 15% elevation, P10 numbers from plus 12 and plus 13. Max overpower and try to hit perfect. Grades will be safe. We are looking to bounce on the fairway over the bunker to have the fairway as a landing point over the bunker, and then to try to bounce this ball into the hole. Tough one, like said, but we're giving ourselves a look for the albatross, but at least getting ourselves the eagle. Scan the QR code here on the screen or go directly to patreon.com/golf-tommy for the ultimate tournament text guides for the Southern Pines Invitational Tournament. On the drive here on hole number 1, this is our win 10 ball play. We're starting with QB at P6 max rest. We're setting a hard 2 top spin and 2 left spin. Once we have done that with the white ring by the rough line as well with QB, then we're swapping to a puck and together then with B52 or Grizzly bag. Grizzly are going to have to play with a power 7 plus ball to make sure you have a pin check all the time, whereof B52 can play all the way down to a P3 plus ball. Make sure though that if you're swapping to a lower power ball than power 6, you have to do that after you swap to a puck. Circle drop over power, and we roll down, and we do want to be around 320 yards. On the second shot, we are going to do a pin check with our bullseye, and once we have done that, we're applying a hard 3 backspin and 0.5 right spin. We're then moving back to have the ball guideline to go approximately 1 green square through the hole. And the reason I say 1 green square through the hole is because we do have the pin to stand in the center of a green square, so we do want to be halfway into the next green square with our ball guideline. Adjust is going to be 82% slider plus 15% elevation, P8 numbers, and that is from +2 and +3 pin shake. So here we're adding we're adding 0.1. I'm also doing 1 click of right curl for this particular angle, which is the blue angle. Center ball, we land on the fairway over the bunker, and we are dropping dead center for the eagle. Scan the QR code here on the screen or go directly to patreon.com/golf-tommy for the ultimate tournament text guides for the Sichuan Regional Tournament Expert and Master Division. Hole number 2, we are starting here with a power 10 ball. If you do have the tiki ball or the reef ball, that's the best ball to start with, as it has no side spin. As we are only looking to 3.8 backspin, you can see where it jumps there. That's the spin jump I'm looking for. Obviously, it's all about mirroring that amount of backspin. Blue ring to be by the edge of the wood, by the water. I do angle the view a little bit right to left to have the clearest possible view view of my aim point. This is the yellow angle, and we're adjusting 1 to 1. Have in mind that this is with low graphics on, that's why you see the bushes and the trees a bit weird. So in this case, we're going to apply 2 clicks of right curl, and we'll land on the fairway up towards the pin, dropping dead center. Adjust is 1 to 1 in all wind angles and strength. So if I do have 8.0 miles per hour, I do adjust 8 rings. Scan the QR code here on the screen or go directly to patreon.com/golf-tommy for the ultimate tournament text guides for expert and our master division. On the drive, we are starting with the rock at P6 max rest. We can play here with any sort of P6 plus, side spin 2 plus, and wind 9 or wind 10. Once we have found the aim point as per the table, we do rock with half of the red ring inside the rough for a poke 8, 55% of the red ring inside the rough with a poke 7, 70% of the red ring inside the rough with a poke 6. We're doing a push-up for a poke 7, that is 0.2 rings. We do a poke 6, 1.5 rings, and a poke 8, no push-up at all. We do want to clip the rough with the second bounce to roll out onto the fairway, so to be somewhere between 384 and 390 yards. On the second shot, we are going to do a check where we are boxing in our B52 rings or the grizzly rings. So we do have a white ring by the bunker to the left and to the right, a light 1 top spin and 1 right spin. Then we're looking to have the top of the blue ring by the rough line ball guideline to point towards the hole, short but point towards the hole. If you do have the time, try to zoom in to double check so the ball guideline is actually going towards the hole. It is very easy to be a little bit off with that, and that could definitely have an impact on your outcome. Adjust is going to be 46% slider plus 10% elevation, P10 numbers, and we are going to pull the 10 rings first, we do the rest from 10 rings from white ring if we have to pull twice. There's no wind angle tweaks here, so we're just going to center the ball and hit perfect. Scan the QR code here on the screen or go directly to patreon.com/golf-tommy for the ultimate tournament text guides for expert and our master division. On hole number 4, here we are playing with a P8 ball to a start to find aim at P8 max stretch, white ring by the rough line. With a poke 8, we're gonna go max top spin, half a bar right spin for a poke 7 and a poke 8, whereof a poke 6 is gonna use 1 top spin boost if you wanna use that club. Adjust max plus 20 P0, and then we're gonna then push up. We do want to push up 0.6 rings always with our Apocalypse level 8, and we're gonna do the same with Apocalypse level 7, this as we do judge that to compensate for the slightly lesser topspin that you do have on your club. We do want to play with P0, P7 plus, side spin 2 plus, wind 10. The reason for the P7 is that sure, sometimes we will be at +4, +5, which will be in range for a P6 ball, but there is also risk to have a slightly shorter drive to be in +7, +8. And then we will, in that case, be in between clubs with a P6 ball, therefore we suggest P7 plus. On the second shot, we are using our thorn. We're gonna set max top spin and half a bar of right spin. Now we're looking to have the ball guideline roughly half a green square through the hole. We need to have in mind that the pin is standing in the middle of a green square, which then means that we're gonna have the ball guideline just over the line between the dark and the bright green square row. Once we have found this spot, we are looking to adjust 96% slider, no elevation, P6 numbers, and that is from +4 and +5. So we make the adjustment. Then we're gonna center the ball and hit perfect, and we will end up having a very good chance to drop an eagle. Scan the QR code here on the screen or go directly to patreon.com/golf-tommy for the ultimate tournament text guides for the Southern Pines Invitational. On hole number 5, we're starting with any power 0 ball to find a max with rock level 9, and we're gonna look at have the second bounce in the center of the dark green square row. As you can see, we're playing with no spin all the way, which is absolutely brilliant. We are adjusting a custom based adjustment with our rock, which is then 1-to-1 minus 0.1 in wind 7.2 to 7.6, in 7.7 up to 8.6 we do 1-to-1. This is the yellow angle, and we are here then gonna do center ball. I would say it's more towards the blue side than what it is towards the red side. Center ball hit perfect. We're looking to have dead bounces up the hill here. If you do get a speed roll, it's most likely because you land too far back or you land too far right. It always looks like it's gonna stop short, but the ball should come back into the hole. Scan the QR code here on the screen or go directly to patreon.com/golf-tommy for our tour and tournament play guides. You can also go to patreon.com/GCT-Quick9 for our premium guides for Quick9. On the drive here on hole number 6, this is a sniper play, a little bit more conservative drive, and you can here play with an Apocalypse level 6 plus, an Extra Mile level 9. We're gonna use a hard 7 topspin, 3 left spin, a P0 max rest, ring reference as per the table. For those of you that do wanna play with Extra Mile, you swap to that after you have made your adjustment with your Apocalypse. We're gonna do outside wall a left curl with circle drop overpower. Perfect. And we are then coming on the fairway, clipping the rough, and we roll down to around 357 or 358. On the second shot, we are going to use a 3 left spin and a hard 2 top spin. We are going to be fairly close to the tree to the right, so if you have the tree to clip the ball guideline before you have the ball guideline through the hole, reduce the side spin slightly. It means mainly that you have just too much curl, too little curl on the approach and landing too far right. Adjust is going to be custom based. This is the angle that I judge to be the red angle. So here we're gonna play center ball. Adjustment that we're doing is 8.1 rings from +2 and +3. So center ball, and even though it looks scary through the trees, there's actually quite a bit of room with the wind coming left to right, and we drop nicely dead center. On hole number 7 with a wind 0 ball, same starting position as for the wind 2, Extra Mile at P10 max stretch, a red ring to the right by the sun. We're swapping to a poke bag. We do want to play with a poke level 7 and or level 8 with a regular ball. Then a poke 6 needs to play with a top spin boost ball if you want to play with that club. We are, after the adjust, max plus 20 P0 for the difference between the wind and 10 miles per hour. We're going to pull back as per table. Here I do pull back 2.2 rings. And then we're gonna go with that amount of curl in this angle. I will be doing slightly different curl depending on what what type of wind angle we have, because what we want to do is to hit the rough before the fairway pad, to then have the second bounce on the pad and roll through the rough. I do believe that's the most consistent way of getting the ball to down towards the green. If you do not get the ball in the hole, the ball will most likely stop on the fringe for a short wedge down below the pin. Obviously, great balls and some unlucky bounces can get you in the rough, but then we do recommend to follow the suggestion with finding the funnel and the top end of the green as per the wedge picture that you see in the guide. Scan the QR code here on the screen or go directly to patreon.com/golf-tommy for the ultimate tournament text guide for the Southern Pines Invitational Tournament. On hole number 4, we are going to start with our sniper and the Malin ball. And we are going to set 5 and 2 clicks of topspin and 1 left spin. So 5.1 topspin to be more exact. Ball guideline to go through the hole at P0 max rest. Then we're swapping to any P2 plus, side spin 2 plus, win 10. The reason for the P2 plus is because when we do get the blue and the green angle, this is the blue to be exact. When you do get this and the green angle, we will go up in OP a little bit. But if we would have the yellow or the red, we would in this case have a little bit of tailwind, or at least have a room to adjust with P0 ball. Adjust is custom based 1-to-1 plus 0.4 in wins 7.2 to 8.1. 8.2 to 8.6 with a 1-to-1 plus 0.5, and then the hole-in-one is definitely very makeable. Scan the QR code here on the screen or go directly to patreon.com/golf-tommy for the ultimate tournament text guides for expert and our master division. On hole number 5, we're starting with a P10 wind 10 ball at max stretch, blue ring to the left where the wood meets the grass or the rough. We are adjusting max plus 20 P0. We're gonna do a hard 3 top spin and 2 right spin. So you can see here that I'm swapping to a side spin 4 ball to get the 2 right spin. And the thing is, we're gonna go with a top spin amount based on wind strength here, because we obviously want this ball to be as consistent as possible for us. So for the high winds, we did 2.8 top spin and 2.9 top spin for the mid winds, and then a hard 3 top spin for the low winds to try to get the ball to around 395. If you do hit a great right on your drive, you could get a long or like a high bounce that would potentially put you into the rough. So the second shot is a little bit fiddly, mainly as we are going to have to find an aim point without spins. We have the top of the yellow ring by the rough line with the ball guideline arc somewhat pointing towards the bright green square, somewhat like in between. When we have found that position, we are going to apply spins to get the ball guideline just short of the hole. If you struggle to find the ball guideline that way, rather go more than less. Adjust is going to be 1-to-1 minus 2 in that is from plus 4 and plus 5. Then we're going to center the ball in this wind angle. We'll do 2 clicks of right curl. If you do have a wind angle that is outside the red wind angle, you're going to just play it as red. If you do have a wind angle that's outside blue, you're going to play it as blue. Even though it's a smaller strip of rough, as we do have a straight tailwind, we do have loads of room when hitting any grate here. And you can see that we landed pretty much dead center into the rough as well. So this shot is more safer than what it actually looks. Scan the QR code here on the screen or go directly to patreon.com/golf-tommy for the ultimate tournament text guide for expert and or master division. On option number 1, we're starting with P2 ball at NMT with the rock, moving 7 rings right and from NMT, and then we're swapping to Thor's Hammer bag. This is a Thor's Hammer 7 and 8 play, as we do want to go with all the topspin together with all the topspin boosts. Now swap to a P3, topspin boost 5, side spin 1 ball. Adjust is going to be, let us have a look at that. I'm playing 1-1 with Thor's Hammer level 8, has to be said. That's going to be max, no elevation, P1 numbers. And here we're going to use a different amount of rings of overpower depending on what wind angle we have. Because the fact is here now that even if we're having so much topspin, we will still sometimes clip the rough with our second bounce. And if we do not do that, then obviously we're going to be down here for a wedge, which is the ultimate outcome. If we do clip the rough, we're going to play a rings from min with our thorn, which is going to be a solid one as well. It's just obviously so much more easier when it comes to the wedge. Playing with outside wall left curl, the reason I'm not using more curl is that the more curl you're using, the more you put the tree to the right in play, and we don't want to clip that tree because then it's definitely game over for the eagle. Please check the second shot for both the thorn but also then the wedge as well, as to give you some references for the approach. When it comes to the wedge here, we are going to always be around 70 to 80% of our club. I mean, sure, it could differ a couple of percentage here and there as well, but that's going to be approx the area. Max topspin and topspin boost ball guideline into the hole. We're going to play with Embringer 7 and Embringer 8 with the topspin boost. We're playing minus 50% elevation P2 numbers. And if we are playing with no spin, we're playing plus 20 P3. Make the adjustment and hit perfect. Hole number 8 of the Southern Pines, which is hole number 17 in the college playoff 18-hole cup. Here we are having a right side play. There are so many different ways of playing this hole in my opinion. You can go right side, you can go left side, a lot of backspin going directly onto the green. You can also attack for a rough bump all the way up by the green. But this video is displaying a right side play. QB at +4, red ring by the sand, and then swapping to a rock to allow for the slight headwind to not be a problem. If you do have a straight crosswind or you do have a tailwind, you can use the quarterback all the way if you would so like. 10% elevation is what we are judging to be the true elevation for this particular par 3. But have in mind though that the adjustment and as that is going to differ depending on what type of way you are playing. Be careful with the bunkers. We obviously don't want to go into the bunkers, but if done everything correctly, you can end up with a hole-in-one in this very tough par 3. Hole number 9 of the Southern Pines, a long par 5. This is also hole number 18 in the college playoff 18-hole cup, but long par 5s, we do not really like that. Besides, if we're having tailwind here, we can, if we would like to have some fun, use a ball with a lot of topspin boosts and stuff like that and try to send it close to the green. If we don't want to do that and want to lay up instead, we can do as we are doing in the video. All the topspin always here because we do need it. Here in the tailwind, we are trying to bounce over the bunker. If we do have a crosswind or we do have a headwind, we're going to have to lay up, and we're going to have to then lay up as close to the rough and the sand possible. Because if we do lay up, it's going to be a 3-shot play to actually just getting the eagle, which is going to be extremely boring. But it's also going to be something that there's going to be a lot of players missing the eagle, and in that case, there will be a massive advantage if taking real care of that situation. Now, if we do get the ball up there as we would like, then we can here go for a double bounce rough bump. Now, this is an aggressive way of obviously attacking the pin for an albatross. If you do not fancy this type of way of playing, you can always roll the ball right side of the rough and just end up with a pot. But as when it comes to creating content for us in the team, we're always looking to give at least an alternative for the rough bump. Not for the rough bump, for the albatross is my point. So in this case, it's circle break underpower with the ball guideline aim at a hole. The underpower is to help to compensate for the extra push we do get from the tailwind. If everything goes the way we want, and then we roll down and dropping dead center for the albatross. The elevation for the drive is 10% elevation, and the second shot is no elevation, is what we believe is the true elevation. But as always, when it comes to creating content, don't be afraid of choosing different elevation if that suits your adjustment. On hole number 7, start with the rocket and a quasar ball set max top spin, max left spin. Then we go back to sniper to find max line ball guideline to go into the hole with the spins applied. Then we're swapping to a win 10 ball. Make note that you need to swap to a P2 plus, size spin 4 plus win 10. Adjust is going to be a custom based adjustment for 7.2 to 8.1 miles per hour, 1 to 1 plus 0.2. For 8.2 to 8.6, 1 to 1 plus 0.3. We make the adjustment, and then we're going to apply circle break on the power. Together with, in this instance, I'm doing 2 clicks of left curl. Perfect ball it is. And we clip the rough, roll up the pin, dropping dead center. Scan the QR code here on the screen or go directly to patreon.com/golfclashtommy for the ultimate tournament text guides for expert and or master division. On the drive here on hole number 8, this is option 1B. We are playing with our Falcon. In this particular instance, for those that do want to play with the Thorn, check out option 1A. Slightly different drive, but similar type of idea on the approach. 7.5 top spin, 2 right spin, and then we adjust max plus 20 P0. Then we do 2.2 ball of right curl, max over power with a slow needle for P7 plus ball. P6 is going to be a tiny shake. Perfect ball. I'm looking to have this ball to slide down the fairway to around 409 or 10 yards, something like that. On the second shot, we are going to do a frame check where the fringe meets the fairway, ball guideline going over the hole. Then we'll play no spin, leave the ball guideline slightly short of the hole. You can see that I'm trying to get this one in the way that I can, fiddling around a little bit here. But to me, it is very important to have the ball guideline position straight, pointing towards the hole, whilst being a little bit short then. Adjust from +4 is 96% slider for Falcon 8, 100% slider for Falcon 7. And the good thing as well for those that do have Falcon 8 is that it is 1-to-1. So in this case, we are deducting 0.2 from the adjust, and we do play with no wind angle tweaks here. Perfect. We bounce on the fairway, up towards the pin, and dropping dead center for the eagle. Scan the QR code here on the screen. Go directly to patreon.com/golfclashtommy for free to play ball alternatives and other paid ball alternatives for the tournaments. On the drive here on hole number 9, we are starting with the quasar ball at P2 max stretch. We do 2 left spin and 6.8 top spin, and then we're swapping to any P8 plus, side spin 4 plus, win 10. Have in mind that if you're using a P8 ball, you're gonna have to kind of go based off drive distance. if you are not reaching to the check, which is going to be very often though. So P8 ball, whilst it's working, it's may not be the best choice for you of using that ball. We do want to get the ball somewhere between 392 to 400 yards. On the second shot, we are going to do a top white ring frame check. See, we have a plus 22 or like plus 21 plus 22. We are doing a blue ring by the sand with the bullseye just into the rough. And then we are going to apply spins to have the ball guideline go roughly half a green square left of the hole, being like 1.5 green square past. Once done that, we are making an adjustment. 7.3 miles per hour is going to be 5.9 rings as a base, and we're adding 0.1 here. So here, I mean, we can argue that this is in blue or in between blue, and instead of doing just before circle drop, almost running out of time and doing circle drop instead. So a lot of little smaller things that I could correct. You can see how close I'm landing to the rough line as well, and that is when I'm not that good with the overpower there in the end. 82% slider, minus 10% elevation, P10 numbers is what we are using from plus 19 and plus 20. Scan the QR code here on the screen or go directly to patreon.com/golfclashtommy for the ultimate tournament text guides for expert and or master division. Thank you so much everybody for watching this playthrough for 18 holes of the Attitude 18 Hole Cup. Have in mind once again that the wins shown here in the video are variable. It's also lower than what you will see when you are playing, because here we have boosted rewards, but I still hope that the video will help you in your success. Scan the QR code here on the screen or go directly to patreon.com/golfclashtommy for the ultimate tournament text guides.